Hey everybody, it's Alex, the Phyrexian Scripture Scribe, and welcome to another episode of Desperate Ravings, the show where I go off on things about magic that just piss me off, confuse me, or I just feel like talking about because you are my captive audience, and thank you for tuning in yet again. I hope you did enjoy last week's flagship episode. I certainly had a good time making it. And I wish I could kick off this week's episode with a new topic, but unfortunately, the wonderful debacle that is Masters 25 must be spoken about yet again because of a single card, actually. Tree of Redemption, the card that everyone was just utterly confused by. Why the hell is this in my pack of Masters 25? Why is this representing Innistrad as the rare for this set? Why not Snapcaster, or Liliana, or Geist of Sandtraft, or Hentmaster of the Fells? You see where I'm going with this. Why is this in the set? And apparently there are people out there, stores actually, who are just as perturbed as I am that this card exists in this set, because I guess Triskaidekaphobia needed a fun little combo piece in there for limited, because that'll be fun, right? No. So what they are doing, if you happen to purchase a pack of Masters 25 at participating stores, they will literally redeem your tree. They will give you, in return for the tree, a fresh sealed pack of Masters 25. Or some stores are also giving out iconic Masters packs as well. But honestly, I wouldn't even take that gamble at this point either. I digress. It's amazing to me that the seismic backlash that the community has had towards Masters 25, and this card in particular, has caused stores to basically, go back on a purchase. I mean, they're apologizing, and that's absurd. I mean, yeah, I buy a car, the brakes don't work. Yeah, I take it back for a new car. I don't open a pack of Magic cards and I don't like my rare because my rare is broken or just dumb. I don't want this pack. So maybe moving forward, you can just, and it's only like one per customer, I think, is how most stores are handling this, because it has to be that way. Otherwise, you just be like, nope, don't want this rare, or that one, or that one, or that one. Maybe we're just going to get to the point where there's going to be that one singular rare, maybe something like Dubious Challenge from Kaladesh, that is just so bad that if you open it in a pack, you just get a free pack because the store feels so sorry for you. And just, what the hell? What the hell? I mean, granted, I am very excited to play Masters 25 drafts. I'm going to go draft it this weekend. I'm looking forward to it. I've done a couple test simulation drafts online, and the set, comes together pretty well. It's just kind of like, well, if I'm paying $45 for this draft, I better get past some curse catchers and some street wraiths, I guess. I don't know. It's a hard sell, honestly, but I refuse to harp on this set anymore. Because I do want to talk about something that we briefly spoke on last week at the top of last week's show, and that's the leak of Dominaria. The supposed leak of Dominaria came out from a Chinese website who had somehow gotten a hold of the FAQ and the release notes for about 140 cards from Dominaria, and it turned out to be real within hours of even my video going live on YouTube about regarding that. Within hours, Wizards of the Coast had posted a statement on the mothership basically explaining, yeah, it's real. Oh, this sucks. I mean, for the second time now since I've started, well, I guess you could say third, because we had the leaks for Battle for Zendikar, but think back all the way to New Phyrexia. I had just started playing Magic, semi-competitively again, and I just happened upon a text document online that had the entire set minus the art on it. I thought, wow, what a great thing. Weeks in advance of the set? How can this be a bad thing? Then you find out that it was actually a French Magic magazine, Lotus Noir, that had the God Book and leaked that out. Whoops. But yeah, they confirmed that it's real, and in a real smart move, Wizards owns up to it and posts the same document that this Chinese website did, obviously, in the fully translated version, and so we got to see those 140 cards, and I'm not going to go into them yet because that's just not fun, let the sports season actually start. But we did get to see, I'll call it a couple of things here. Jaya Ballard, Planeswalker, a new blue-white Teferi, and a 4-mana Karn, because the last thing that Tron needs in Modern is another Karn. But we did get to see one card, one very peculiar card that I looked at it, kind of went, is that a Magic card? I kind of had to really turn my head, and you'll see why here in just a second. Because what we've been revealed to had revealed to us is our first Saga, Phyrexian Scriptures. It is a 2 and 2 black enchantment Saga, reasons, mythic rare, and Saga is basically they enter the battlefield after your and after your draw step at a lore counter and sacrifice after level 3. So 3 lore counters go on. You play it the first time, gets an ability. Second one does the thing. So 2 turns after you play it, this thing is then sacrificed. So at level 1, you put a +1/+1 counter up to 1 target creature, and that creature becomes an artifact in addition to its other types. Very flavorful. If you're going to become a Phyrexian, you turn into an artifact. Level 2, destroy all non-artifact creatures. So it's like a delayed damnation, but only for non-artifacts. Pretty sweet. How many artifact creatures will be in this set? Who knows? I don't know yet. And level 3, exile all cards from all opponents' graveyards. So that tells me 2 things here. Wizards is a little bit more lenient on Black Wraths now. Even this one is a little bit delayed. It's still technically a turn 4-ish Wrath. You know, obviously we had Crux of Fate and Fate Reforged, which was a great Wrath, you know, very conditional in some cases. And we also get a little bit of a bonus Graveyard Hate, which makes me think there's going to be some kind of graveyard mechanic in this set as well. I'm excited to see that. But again, I do this because this doesn't look like a Magic card to me. And I recently watched a really great video on YouTube that basically went through all 25 years and all 25 years of frame changes that Wizards has done, and I didn't realize how many there actually had been. And this is Wizards just kind of really playing with things again. I personally do not like this split down the middle templating, yet it's cool to see some verticality and makes the card feel longer. But I just don't know if I can get behind this kind of templating here. I feel like maybe they could have done like a modified Planeswalker thing here. Maybe there is just too much text to make it go, you know, more horizontal, the text boxes that is. Obviously, the reminder text there has to be there because it's a brand new card type, but there's something about this just, it doesn't feel right. And yes, it is obviously the line is cut down the middle, but the little level lore counters on the side there kind of throw off the symmetry for me a little bit. So I'm not quite sure I'm down with this. I need to see more of them. I need to play with them. I do like the fact that there is a Phyrexian watermark within the text, which is really cool. I actually did see an altered version of this on Reddit where someone had done like the old school black text boxing where it was more like a faded brown. It looked very, very cool, very Phyrexian-esque. But this is still really cool. You know, it's Wizards just kind of turning things on its head, literally. And it's interesting. I'm excited to see more of these. I'm sure there's been more that have been spoiled inadvertently, but again, I'm not going to go and look at those. I'm going to see these one at a time as the spoilers start, I think, next Wednesday, March 21st. But yeah, this is interesting. I don't know if I'm a fan of it yet. It's just weird. There's a lot of positive negative space going on here, and it's very heavily balanced one way, and just I don't know. What do you guys think about the Sagas? I'm curious to know what you think, and you know, maybe we're gonna see this. Maybe this is an indication of things future forthcoming. Who knows? But until then, it's weird. I don't know if I like it, and it's worth raving about. So last week, to wrap up here, last week I kind of alluded that to something I've always kind of wanted to do, and that's kind of field opinions and comment on people's opinions about Magic, popular or otherwise, not being popular here. And so I put out the request today, and I got some really good feedback. So I'm going to share a couple of these with you guys here. I have the replies up on my phone here. And I'm just gonna go through these and just like I haven't really thought about any of this stuff so far, so this is gonna be very off the cuff. I hope you guys this is gonna be kind of goofy here, but yeah, Desperate Ravings here. So good buddy Steven, guest host, you know, occasionally we stream a lot together. States that Kevin, last name removed, is the unluckiest Magic player I've ever seen. I don't know, but he did loan me some cards for GP Oklahoma City, or no, Denver last year. And when I made day 2, I didn't win a single game. So I'm going to attribute that to the fact that his cards were in my deck. Therefore, Kevin's cards are very unlucky, making him at least the most unlucky Magic player I know. There we go. He also makes a much more serious comment by saying, mastering a deck is one of the most important skills you can have, with deck flexibility being a close second. I agree with this 100% actually. Specifically in older formats like Modern and Legacy. Standard less so because the decks really don't change all that much. So you usually have just a set number of archetypes, control, mid-range, aggro, and they just kind of evolve a little bit. But because Standard obviously rotates, you never have a whole lot of time to do what I would consider like truly mastering a deck. So it's the eternal formats, Modern, Legacy, Vintage, where really mastering a deck kind of comes into its own. There's a guy at my shop that I play at now who's been playing Tron for as long as Tron has been a thing, and he's really good. He knows the deck inside and out. He knows the matchups and is able to sort of edit things as they need to, depending on the meta shifts and things like that. I'm a very much a big fan of Jeskai, Control, and Jund. I don't say I've mastered those decks, but I really know the archetypes backwards and forwards. I know their strengths, I know their weaknesses. And to Steven's second point here, talking about flexibility, I know when it's time to change. If I've experienced a lot of hostile decks against Control my local meta, yes, I will break out the Jund Police and Bloodbraid people into oblivion, because that's still, like I said last week, the sickest shit ever. So yes, absolutely correct on both points. Other comments here. Russell says that Tarmogoyf is overrated versus creatures that generate immediate value and can be used right away. I'm curious to know what kind of creatures we're looking at here. Obviously you can look at Magic cards in a vacuum and their power level is completely dependent on themselves. But without other cards in your deck, specifically in your graveyard, Tarmogoyf is kind of nothing. It's just a 0/1 for 2 mana. So I'd be curious, what kind of cards you think are out there, and I'll put this out to everybody. Feel free to comment below what kinds of creatures you think there are that when you play them, they generate immediate value. Maybe things like Kitchen Finks or Eternal Witness, Snapcaster Mage, stuff like that. So I'm really kind of curious, but just by itself, it comes down, and obviously you're playing in a deck that can take advantage of its massive power level compared to its relatively small opportunity cost. I would say that Tarmogoyf is not overrated. When I first started playing, semi-competitive Modern, at my local game stores back in Texas, nobody owned Tarmogoyfs. I had never seen an actual Tarmogoyf, so I had no idea what to make of it. And so in my mind, it was kind of like this mythical thing, and then it became actually mythic. But then I started playing in, Modern Opens, 5Ks, PPTQs, GPTs, and I started seeing this thing more and more, and I was just utterly amazed by the power level of this little green creature that would just eat you alive if you didn't have a timely path to exile. Obviously, the printing of Fatal Push kind of invalidates it even more because more decks can now hate on it. But then Bloodbraid Elf comes along and kind of pushes Fatal Push out of the format because it's bad to cascade into it. So to say Tarmogoyf is overrated seems like a bit of a stretch. It is, simply put, the most powerful green creature ever printed, especially in the 2-drop space. So I'm going to disagree with this one. I don't think Tarmogoyf is overrated. It's certainly not underrated. You know how powerful it is. You probably died to it a few times. So I'm going to disagree with this one. We've got Edward here. If Urza is not resurrected at some point in Dominaria block, it will be a travesty. Sure, I know we got the head of Urza in Unstable. We've never actually gotten an actual Urza card in Magic as far as I know. There was the Blind Seer, which was alluded to be Urza from some long forgotten set that I could not begin to guess what it was. But yeah, that'd be cool to see Urza come back and be like this super powerful legendary planeswalker. As far as I understand it, he is the most powerful. Lore guys, don't hate me. I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah, we're going back to Dominaria. It's his home. He made Karn. Yeah, let's resurrect him. Let's make a big deal about it. Yeah, a travesty might be a little strong, but maybe disappointing, if anything. Let's see here. Kevin, chiming in here. Contentment Priest should stop Theros gods from coming back from the graveyard. Let's get these rules fixed. I have no clue what their context is here. Something about legacy, death, and taxes. Who's playing Theros gods in Legacy? Next. Sorry. Dustin says, Raving, anyone remember field parties? Anyone ever go to the White Rabbit parties? I miss those days. I don't know what you're talking about. I can make a educated guess, but as I'm trying to keep this from going into more explicit territory, let's not. Jason then replies, I thought this meant we were having a magic-themed rave. And I immediately had to jump into the comments here and apologize to anyone who I misled here with my titling of This is Desperate Ravings. I just really like that card, although a magic-themed rave does sound kind of cool. Maybe do like some, what do you call those things? Glow sticks. There we go. And then Shad jumps in here. Can we please have Damage use this stack again? Because that'd be great. No. Moving on. Armando posts on the official Facebook page, banning Simeon's Spirit Guide in Modern. Ooh, that's a tough one. It just got reprinted in Masters 25. The first time it's ever been reprinted, actually. So, I have to kind of look at this from two perspectives. Obviously, it is a very powerful Magic card. You're not casting it. Whenever if you put it in your deck, you have the intent to do something degenerate, like a turn 1 Chalice of the Void on 1. Turn 2 or even turn 1 Blood Moon or Ensnaring Bridge, or just there's that new Eternal Scourge Eldrazi deck that plays it. That can play like a turn 1 Thought Knot Seer. I don't know. You put cards in your deck for a reason, and you put this card, Simeon Spirit Guide, in their deck to do degenerate things. But I don't think you have to ban it because you have to build your deck a very specific way to take advantage of it. I'm gonna go north on this one. It's a card that I've thought about before, and I thought, that could probably use being removed from the format. But I don't know. I liken it kind of up there with like Street Wraith in terms of just like immediate value that you get for literally nothing. And I don't think Street Wraith's bannable either. So yeah. Mickey says Mox Opal banning in Modern. Okay, more fast mana questions, I guess. So I liken it. It's kind of in the same camp as Simeon Spirit Guide. It's fast mana, yes, but you have to build your deck in a very specific way to take advantage of it. Obviously, when you put it in Affinity, you're looking to power out turn 2 Cranial Platings and turn 2 Arcbound Ravagers, and turn 2, or no, these are turn 1 cards, and then turn 2 Edge Champions. But again, you've got to build your deck around it in a very specific way, and they're legendary at that. And yeah, you can kind of do the cool Lotus Petal trick with them now because of the legendary rule change and all that. But I'm going to say no to this one as well. I've played a lot of Affinity. I've played Tezzeret decks that can abuse the heck out of it and get a turn 2 Tezzeret down, which always feels great. Obviously Lantern Control plays it. No. Don't ban Mox Opal. It does, I'm going to go with no with this one. Then Shad jumps in again. Damage on the stack. No. And our last one here, and this one kind of caught me off guard. This one's never actually crossed my mind in terms of thinking about, but Sherwin says Valakut should be banned, and he even puts a little notation. Unpopular opinion. No. I mean, you can see it a mile away coming, and it's not. I mean, as soon as your opponent starts like Far Seeking and Sakura Tribe Eldering, it's like what's up. It does. Valakut doesn't need to be banned either. That's goofy. Sorry, Sherwin. I'm not on board with that one. So, what do you guys think? What are your guys' other unpopular or popular Magic opinions? Let's have a dialogue here. Comment down below. Let me know over on Facebook. I'm open to all kinds of ridiculous ideas. Surely, I wasn't sure if I would be able to fill up multiple weeks of this Desperate Ravings thing here, but the community and Wizards of the Coast at large seems to keep throwing fuel to me, and I'm just like, yeah. Sort of wildfire out of this one. Yeah. So, such is life. And so ends another episode of Desperate Ravings. I hope you've enjoyed this one as well. Please reach out to me on Facebook and YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because shamelessly plugging myself is the only way to get your attention, it seems, in life sometimes. But thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.